Day 3, Philippians chapter 2, verses 1 to 18, the mind of Christ. Several years ago, many of us can remember this heartfelt video being shared on social media of a little boy pleading to his mama to listen. He repeatedly called her name by crying, "Linda, Linda, listen to me." He repeated her name and begged her to stop and listen. I believe that we can all relate to a similar situation where at one time or another we have been pleading with somebody to truly hear us and to listen. And so I believe that we can all relate to this. And so Paul, likewise, in this chapter, is pleading with his readers to listen to what he has to say, even if he has to repeat himself, because it's for their safety and for their protection. He pleads to them and begs them to agree to have the mind of Christ in their relationships. As a father begging his children to change their behavior, he also begs them to be kind and to come together as one. He pleads with them using the best example that they could all relate to exemplify his message, that being the life of Jesus. Historical documents show that it is believed from chapter 2, verses 6 and 7, that it's actually a song, a hymn. Philippians 2, 6 and 7 say, though he was God, he did not think of equality with God as something to cling to. Instead, he gave up his divine privileges. He took the humble position of a slave and was born as a human being when he appeared in human form. You see, Jesus did not have to lay aside his royalty and his deity to come to this earth. He did not have to suffer the cruelty, the lies told about him, the criticism, the whips, and the ultimate betrayal. But he chose to lay his deity aside, take on human flesh. He chose to lay aside his comfort, his emotions. He chose to not call the angelic hosts to come down and wipe mankind out. He chose instead to love us just as we are in our state, because he knew that we were never going to be capable of doing what was needed to bring us back into relationship with the Father. Since he chose, Paul encourages us to choose, to take on this mindset. Remember, we get to choose. The more we choose Christ, the more of our selfish desires take a back seat and God takes precedence. We're not avoiding, we're not ignoring the tough things, but we are choosing to live what we sing. We're choosing love over hate and forgiveness over holding grudges. We're making choices based on how Christ chose. Know this, there will be choices we are faced with that are for the eternal benefit of others as well as for ourselves. But we get to choose. Philippians chapter 2, 1 to 18, the mind of Christ.